So personally, I've got 33 years experience in sales marketing with a big emphasis on tech. I started this particular brand or business late 2020. And prior to that, been self-employed probably 10 years, so contracting. I was contracting for a digital provider in 2020, and a lot of the customers came to me with not very nice stories, right, about other service providers that had not provided what they'd been promised, or that they had, for instance, if it was web development, they just disappeared and had their logins, or they didn't give them their logins, and so they were held to ransom for every little change, or they were promised a logo, a professional bespoke logo, and end up getting a Canva version, and there's things like that. And eventually I just got sick of it, and I said, no, look, there's got to be a better way, right? So I built a collective of entrepreneurs. So I don't actually employ anyone. Everybody that does work for my clients is contracted to me, and I've actually personally worked with them and vetted their work. And I know they're not going to disappear on you from a technical support point of view. So I'm going to jump into the presentation. It basically talks quite in general. Once I'm through with the presentation, I will actually take you through what the platform looks like, how to do different things on Canva, how I store my lead magnets, how I share them, the easiest ways to do that, and a lot of that stuff is, a lot of that stuff is free. So, okay, cool. Let's hop into it. Canva is very easy once you get your head around it. So, let me just share my screen.
Are you recording, Vanessa?
Yeah, I'm recording.
Right, okay.
Am I? Hang on, let me check.
I didn't see you were. I saw it come up.
Okay, no problems, no problems. Okie dokie, move you guys across here. Let's go to full screen. So this is using Canva, so I present directly out of Canva. You can present out of Canva. For instance, when you saw the countdown timer, did you guys have sound? Jeff, did you have sound on the countdown timer?
I don't think I did. I don't think I had sound.
Oh, okay. How weird. Because it's a Zoom setting. So on Zoom, it says whether you want to share your sound. It does play a little tune, just so you know. So yeah, I mean, so it's all about automating your business. And the big thing that I always say, that if you do something more than twice, optimize it. If you're doing something more than 3 times the same thing, then automate it. Because a lot of it is repetitive and boring. And you want to have a system. So I advocate for a system that works for you 24/7, 365 days of the year, whether you're in front of your laptop or whether you're not. Whether you're scrolling your social media or you're not, whether you could be on holiday, spending time with your kids or loved ones, whatever, it works for you. And because we're digital, as you can see, I've got people from the US, or I've got a whole bunch that registered from the UK, but it's 3 a.m. there, so they will get the recording. But it's just optimizing things so that you can concentrate on working more in your business, and also saving you time to do the things that you enjoy versus the things you don't. I'll just go through this. So just if you got any questions that can wait to the end, if you pop them in the chat for me. If it's something that I'm busy talking about and you think it is important to clarify, just unmute and ask me. I don't mind. Your individual situations, I'm happy to discuss in another Zoom, a complimentary Zoom. I'm going to go through what is a lead magnet, the conversion path. In other words, how do you go from lead magnet to customer or client? How to actually create the lead magnet, and also go through the Canva brand kits. I don't know if you guys have done that yet, but it's important. Why every business needs a lead magnet. So a lot of e-commerce businesses don't think about a lead magnet, but a lot of them are struggling right now, particularly in the economy we have, and this is what everybody's saying anyway in groups. But a lead magnet actually would help them quite a lot, even if it's just education around the products and so forth. I'll go through lead magnet ideas that you can use on a landing page. and then I'll talk you through automation and go high level. I'll just give you a little overview of that. So as you know, lead magnets, as Sarah was saying, they are to attract potential customers. So it's important to understand you either in two sort of fields. You either know your potential customer avatar or persona very well, and you've been sharing resources all this time that perhaps you haven't been collecting the data, or you actually don't know. And in that case, if you're a little unclear, then it's important. I always recommend that you have 3 or 4 lead magnets in any one given time that you rotate, and then you'll quickly start to see what's the most popular. You'll start to see who's actually downloading it. So what's their location? Are they male? Are they female? What industry are they in? And you'll then be able to improve your lead magnets based on that. So if you thought it was X and suddenly it's Y, then you need to look at your lead magnets and actually tailor them to what the data is telling you. So lead magnets can be a bunch of things. You can even have a lead magnet as join my Facebook group, and these are the reasons why. I go live on a Monday. There's 10 different resources there that you can download. I get a specialist in on every Thursday. So there's all these reasons. That's your lead magnet, and you're actually funneling them into your Facebook group, and ideally you're asking them what their email address is. If you do ask their email address, it just creates legitimacy, you know, and also you can actually look them up before accepting them into the group, because you don't want any bad apples in your groups. You want it to be a positive experience for everybody. And then we can actually pull those email addresses into your CRM, right? It doesn't matter what your CRM is. We can use, it goes into Go High Level, which I'm going to show you seamlessly, but we can use a webhook to get it into any. So you can actually pull those into your email list without much trouble at all. So other things it can be is white papers, ebooks, templates, or any other digital downloadable asset. Format, I recommend a PDF. So if it's a presentation, a guide, a blueprint, an ebook, something like that, then I recommend that you download it from Canva in a PDF format. So it's just harder for people to muck around with. In other words, you can actually edit PDFs in Canva, but not many people know that. So they've got to have a clear call to action. So there's got to be, you know, like was it Angie or Sarah was saying, it's got to be a compelling reason why they, for instance, I've got one lead magnet called 100 free editable Canva templates sized for Instagram. It's very popular, right? They get it for free, and it's by far my most popular lead magnet. The last time I put it out, within 2 days, I had close on 200 opt-ins. So that's, you know, that's how many new leads you could get from just one lead magnet. Now, I've actually been quite terrible at sharing my own lead magnets lately, so it's a good reminder for me to share mine. I've been doing a lot of education versus sharing my lead magnets. So sort of the next step is, so once you've got people interested in your lead magnet with a very strong call to action or CTA, you want to then put that onto a web page that is that even further convinces them. That landing page, then you've got the opportunity to talk about who you are, your bio, what your business is about, who it's for, and you can share testimonials. So it's a good place to focus the idea around the lead magnet, so they're not distracted by other tabs, for instance, on a website. And then all your information about your business is on there as well. The way that these landing pages work is that the form, so the little form that they fill in, that is what we call a trigger. That triggers everything. And you sometimes will hear about a kickback email. So what happens, they fill the form in, submit. They'll then get a thank you page, and that thank you page then sets their expectation of what they need to expect. So we normally say things like, hi, congratulations, thank you for requesting blah, blah, blah. Check your inbox within 10 minutes. If it hasn't arrived, please check your spam folders. If it's ended up in your spam, and I can give you the script. We tell them what to do in terms of whitelisting that, so that they don't miss your next email that's going to come out to them. But that first email, or what they call a kickback email, that is where you share your lead magnet, right? So you're not giving it away. You are giving it away, but you're getting something in return. You're getting their name and their email address. So this is just talking more about, what I said about a downloadable PDF. In some cases, you might have a video, in which case you can combine a video with stills. In other words, you can have part of a presentation with a video, and then you can download that from Canva as an MP4. MP4 will play on any device, right? So whether it doesn't matter if it's Apple, if it's Windows, it will play on any phone. So MP4 is one of the standard downloads in Canva, and I'll show you later how you can actually combine a presentation with a video, or what we call a VSL, so video sales letter, and that's something you can have on your web page as well. So here are just some examples, guides. It could be case studies, checklists, resource libraries, cheat sheets, guest books, white papers, access to private groups, as I mentioned, email, courses, memberships, or templates. If you're just starting out and you haven't actually got an email marketing list that you can market to effectively, I don't recommend a lead magnet that makes people do any work. In other words, if it's a course that's going to require them to give up 5 hours of their time, don't do that, right? Wait until you've got a good email marketing list, and people, you've nurtured them, or you've welcomed them, you've nurtured them, they know more about you, now they start to understand your value, then you can share your courses and paid memberships and things like that. So, as I said, a lead magnet is either a freebie or a low ticket download. If you're just getting started, I recommend freebie. You will get freebie seekers. In other words, people that will go into your funnel but will never buy from you. So what happens with those people, the minute you start presenting your offers, your products, anything like that, they will eventually either ignore you or they will fall out of your funnel. And that's good, because you want to attract your ideal audience and you want to repel your not ideal audience. So that's actually, a lot of people go, oh my gosh, I got all these unsubscribes. It's actually a good thing. So when you see an unsubscribe, you should just know that that is not your ideal client, and that's probably going to take up a lot of your time and not benefit you much at all. So this is a lead magnet, for instance, that I did. This is what we call presentation mode. So there's multiple of these screens downloaded as a PDF. This is another one that was very popular, and this was on the back of a webinar I did. So that's another thing you can do. You can have for instance, a webinar, and you can briefly talk about, what you're going to share, and then the take home is this lead magnet, right? And you actually share it as a URL, which is ideally your website domain, or a subdomain of that. I'll get to that shortly. So ideas, how do you come up with a lead magnet? So my recommendation is that you find a quiet place once you don't have a pressing to-do list. So ideally when you're not having to sit and worry about things that you think you haven't done and you should be doing. So once you've got through your morning list or whatever, go sit somewhere quiet and nice. We're only starting to get a little bit of sun in New Zealand now. It's been winter, so I haven't been able to sit outside, which I enjoy. So you can do a few things. If you've got a group, you can do a color block post, which is just a post with a colored background. Now, it's better to do one that you type into than go on Canva and try to recreate that, because Facebook can actually read the text. And if it considers it sociable, it will actually share it, and your reach will be a lot better. So color block posts typically tend to get more reach than any other kind of post. So in those color block posts, you can ask your audience, if I gave you $5,000, what is the top 3 things that you would spend it on for your business? Or you can ask them what kind of support they need, or what, if you had a designer training for them, what would be, the most useful to them in a training. And this is all dependent on what you do. You can also look at your Facebook and Instagram insights. So you can have a look at, sort of when your audience is active and what is your audience? Is it male predominantly? Is it female predominantly? What age group is it? And Facebook and Instagram will give you that data. That data is available on the app, on your phone, as well as on desktop. If you've got a group, which I highly recommend if it makes sense to your business, because business pages are, from a reach point of view, pretty dead. And the reason for that is, I'll give you an example. I post on my personal profile every day. I post on my business profile maybe once or twice a week, because it doesn't get reach. So the main reason for that is because Facebook is considered a social platform, and they say if businesses want reach, they need to pay for ads. Yeah. And ads have gotten 3 times more expensive since 2020 than they are now. So if you've got a group, or you belong to a group where they allow self-promotion, but when you're asking for feedback or market research, make it clear that it's market research and you're not actually self-promoting. And then most groups will allow you to actually ask that in a group. So if you guys want to know of some groups that I think are of benefit, I can chat to you guys in the DMs later, and I'll share a few groups with you that I think will be very useful for you to go and ask questions in. You can also look at your most popular posts. You can look at other things that were popular, like your blogs, or something similar. So have a look at what you've done over the last year and see what's been popular. And then think, okay, so how can I turn that into an easily digestible lead magnet? What works really well, as well, is to ask. So ask your audience the other 3 questions. So you've got clients. If you've got clients, what are the 3 things that they ask for the most? What do they ask? Questions do they ask? And maybe your lead magnet can address that. Or list 3 topics that you love to teach and talk about. So things that you're really passionate about, because that particular lead magnet will come through with a lot of energy, and people will pick that up. And you could also then sort of list the major challenges your audience have. I mean, you wouldn't be in business if you weren't solving some kind of problem, right? Not problem, but it could be, you could term it a challenge, or like for me, small business owners, I know there's a whole set of challenges there for small business owners, and I try to address those, and that's why I do, masterclasses like this. So if you sit down with a notebook and a pen, not on a computer, or not on your phone, because there's distractions, there's notifications, there's little pings and things, that you just want to sit somewhere quiet for half an hour or an hour, and just could be first thing in the morning. It just depends on your routine, but it works really, really well. So you can come back to this page when you're sort of, and it is better to actually use a pen and paper and actually write it down. You remember it a whole lot better, and it tends to help your thinking. I'm not sure why, but there's some psychology around that. So to actually create your presentation, I go into Canva and I go onto templates. So on the left menu, you will get home, then you'll get projects and templates. Make sure you're on templates. You'll see here on the back to home, all templates. So you want to search all templates, and you want to search presentation or business presentation. When you search that, you're going to tend to get landscape. So if you look at the bottom here, you see how all of these are landscape. So if landscape makes sense for your lead magnet, then that's what you search. If you search business guide or blueprint or ebook, you're going to get an A4. So you're going to get a landscape. I'm not a landscape, you're going to get a portrait. So it just depends. And when you actually click on them, they will say how many pages they are. So if you look at this top one here, you'll see underneath it, there's a whole lot of designs. And so make sure that there's enough pages for your actual lead magnet so that you don't have to duplicate a page, but you can duplicate pages. All right, I'm going the wrong way. So yeah, if it's a text-based lead magnet, in other words, a guide. I mean, one of you does social media, so you might want to go my top 10 Instagram hacks, or if you're just getting started, how to set up an Instagram account, how to optimize your bio for Instagram, things like that. I mean, honestly, me and Instagram, we're not friends because it's a different language for me, and I haven't had time to focus on it. So I spend most of my time on Facebook. But if it's a text-based one, just create it in a Word document. So if you don't have a Gmail account, I highly recommend you get one because it's free, and it also gives you a free media library as well as access to like 15 or 20 different free tools. And when you create a Word document in Google Drive, it actually auto-saves. So if you get interrupted, the dog wants to go out, or I don't know, your kid needs attention or whatever, that doesn't matter. It will actually auto-save. And wherever you are, you can just log into your Gmail and you can actually access that document. So it's very versatile. And then what I do is I just copy and paste out of that document. So when you copy and paste into a Canva document and you want to maintain the formatting of the Canva template, in other words, the font and the style, then you just need to paste it as plain text. So when you right click, just go plain text. Otherwise, it'll copy the format from where you copied it from in the first place. The other thing you want to do before you create anything is you want to create your brand kit in Canva. So which is your logo typography, so your font family, as well as your branding colors. So you need to understand your palette in terms of hex code. So each color palette has a what we call a hex code. I'll show you that. If you're not sure how to select it, if you're not sure of your branding colors, I can also show you how to do that. So, and then yeah, and then once you finish with it, you can download it as a PDF. And then upload it to a Google Drive folder and then use the hyperlink in the email. So in other words, I'm saying don't have it as an attachment. Attachments are more likely to end up in spam. And also they make the email data heavy. So, you know, if you've, for instance, got quite a lot of high resolution images in your presentation can go up to 30, 40, 50 megabytes. And I think Gmail will accept 15, but most programs will kick out at between 5 and 7. So don't share it as an attachment. Okay, cool. I'm just having a quick look at the questions. Yeah, a lot of people use their Facebook as their main funnel. Yeah, I'll go over the hex codes with you, Angie, no problem. So that's that. But there, so when we're talking about an opt-in form, this form here that you see that I've got on the right-hand side is not what you want to use, right? The reason for that is there's too many questions. And so you're going to find that people are sharing their name and their email address, and they often feel that's enough. Right? They don't want to share their phone number. They don't necessarily want to share their country. Now, in this situation, this was around funding in New Zealand. It was important that I knew their first and last name, and it was important that I knew the country, so whether they were actually eligible for the funding. But what I would normally do above the form, I would have a text block saying, this information is required to test your eligibility for the funding or something like that. So if you're going to ask an extra fields, then you need to tell people why. So some people use SMS marketing or text message marketing, and that might be a reason you want someone's phone number. But people don't, more and more since 2020, people don't like phone calls. My phone never rings, honestly. If someone's chasing me for a bill, yeah, maybe. But everything's done in the DMs these days. So in Go High Level, the forms are really easy to create. It's a drag and drop situation. They've changed the menu. It's now on the left. You just drag full name, email, and you need to have a captcha. Captcha prevents bots. Otherwise, you're going to get a whole lot of bots going into your funnels. And those bots have email addresses, and you won't know whether it's legit or not. So you might be marketing to robots, and that's not what you want. All the forms can be duplicated. So if you look at the bottom there, you'll see it says copy. So once you've created one lead magnet form, you can actually go in and just duplicate it. In fact, everything I show you on Go High Level is clonable. So you only ever create once, and then you just clone everything. It's another reason why I like Go High Level. It's also unlimited. So you can have 1,000 funnels if you like. It's unlimited. So these are very early ones. And the reason I'm showing you them is so that when you attempt to create your own, you're not comparing yourself to what a professional has done. But I will show you, you know, the big difference between a DIY and your own. Now, I'm not a funnel developer. I don't call myself a designer either, but I have learned a few tricks. So this is a very early one. It's that same lead magnet I showed you before. So it talks about what it is. It's got a list here, 15 business hacks. It actually tells people what they're getting. And then at the bottom, I've got, there's a bonus video. And so the way you're going to share it, if you look down the bottom here, you see it says subdomain. Now, my domain is 369collective.co.nz. That's my website domain, right? The subdomain is resources.369. And then whatever's in front of this / 15 business hacks, that's particular to the lead magnet. So you can use the same subdomain 1,000 times because you're always going to have a different lead magnet description. And you know, later on, that can be your offers, it could be packages that you sell, it could be consultations, it could be your trainings that you sell, different things. So you can use the same subdomain as many times as you like, and wherever your domain has been purchased from, or if you haven't purchased one yet, let me know and I'll tell you where to purchase it, so that you get but you can get unlimited free subdomains. Subdomains don't cost money, they're free, but some domain companies don't offer subdomains, which is a pain. So we can get to that. So to send the lead magnet, so the person fills in the form. I mean, I'm sure you've all opted into a funnel, right? And you're in someone's funnel right now. I'm in dozens of funnels, purely from a research point of view. So what's going to happen is you're going to create your email template. And once you've created one email template, so if you look at the bottom, it says 1, 2, 3 there. So I create one email template, I duplicate it for 2, I duplicate it for 3, and I just keep duplicating, and all I change is this information here, right? So what's going to change is thank you for registering. So this was a webinar, and then there was the bonus there. So there would have been a link there. So you need to have what's gonna carry through the whole system to your automation is the from name, the to name, oh, hang on, here, from name, so email address, and the subject line. The preview text doesn't carry through, but that will carry through once you actually select the email. Now, this will become a bit clearer to you, but this is what happens. They fill the optimum form in, the system says, hey, send this email. So this is the first email that goes out. and you can do it's sort of a brief description of what you, so I sort of go, if we're just meeting, you should know our coach and mentor. Sometimes it's my clients that opt in, but sometimes it's not. And so then I also put the link to my my Facebook group there, or resources, or whatever you want. So I tend to have a 3 email sequence that's related to the lead magnet. So the first will be, hey, thank you for requesting my amazing lead magnet. Please download. You can download or you can access it here, and have a hyperlink. So you'll have the word here, and you'll actually put a hyperlink. I'll show you how to do that. Second email is, and then you do a brief introduction of yourself on that first email. Not too much, just honestly make it about the lead magnet. The second one, you sort of go, hey, I know life gets busy. I'm just checking you managed to download X lead magnet. If you haven't, here you go. And then add a little bit more about yourself, or you can just repeat yourself. It's up to you. And then the third email is now going, right, here's your last chance to kind of get this now. Download it here, and then start talking about next steps. So sort of set the expectation of what the next load of emails. I'm going to be talking about the best ways to grow your Instagram audience. I'm going to talk about what an engaged audience looks like. I'm going to share with you what size the images should be. I'm going to share with you what size a real video should be, whatever it is. So, for me, it'll be more sort of business related things. In terms of general small business challenges, but for you guys, if you teach social media or something like that, you'll be giving them little bite-sized tips and tricks, but you don't give away the whole farm, right? Just little tips and tricks. In other words, sort of to whet their appetite for more. They want more from you. So once we've gone through the 3 email sequence, I then have what we call a standard follow-on nurture sequence, which is, I think currently it's 13 emails. So whenever I create a new lead magnet or lead magnet system, I only ever have to create 3 emails. I don't have to create the template because I already created that in the beginning. All I've got to do is go in and change the information around the lead magnets. So I'm going in and I'm going to call the lead magnet something else, and I'm going to put a different link there, but the rest I'm going to keep exactly the same. Of course, you're going to change the subject line and the preview line, but other than that, everything else is the same. So those shouldn't take you, that whole process shouldn't take you more than an hour. I'm talking about editing your landing page and editing the 3 emails, and then cloning the automation. So you can just copy the automation. And then I have my standard follow-on sequence that I tack onto each one. And that will be going into your core offers, what you offer, who you offer it for, how it benefits them, and so forth. This is going into the actual automation and workflow. It seems complicated, but it's not. I just want to see if there's any other questions. Give me a second. I use MailerLite and Canva. Yep, that's fine. MailerLite, as long as you don't use MailChimp, you're doing well. I was told by someone who uses the funnel, but he likes Go High Level, and that is more than I really need, just starting. You can just use Canva and MailerLite, but and a lot of people think Go High Level is expensive, but I do offer it at a reduced rate. Because I don't use my affiliate link, so I don't get commission from them. I actually have an agency where I can add you as a sub account, which is the same account I use for my business. It actually isn't expensive because you don't need a bunch of other apps then, right? You'll always need Canva, right? And you can actually create with Canva in Go High Level if you want. So it's got that API that they share. And also it's got all the AI. So I'll show you all the AI. So yeah, MailerLite is good from an email marketing point of view. It's a good platform. MailChimp is terrible. Don't use it. The reason I say don't use it is because it's got some of the worst percentage deliverability, because it's not a proper SMTP service. In other words, it's not coming from a verified domain of yours. It's coming from MailChimp. And so the spam filters don't like MailChimp. So this is the automation. It's quite easy. So lead magnet requested. And that is so basically you're telling it, when someone submits this form, please add them to my CRM. So add the contact tag to the CRM and send them the lead magnet. Then I want you to wait for a few days, send the second email. I want you to wait for a few days, send the third email, wait, and then my standard follow-on sequence or nurture sequence. So basically it's a welcome, nurture, sell sequence. And it's got its own automation like this, yeah? But it means that someone's in my funnel for 16 emails deep. That's, if they choose to stay and not, I've got a very low unsubscribe rate. So, but what you find is they either unsubscribe or they ignore you. It's one of the two. And so this here is from us on the very right-hand side. This is from my CRM. And this is the contacts tab. And so this tells you that this person, so the email address would be here and their name at this time. So 11:46 p.m. So I'm sleeping, right, at this time, but they've requested that lead magnet and the trigger follow-on nurture sequence. So it actually tells me exactly. And then if I click into it, I can actually see more details of the person. It can pull through. So email addresses, sometimes phone numbers and things like that. So that's basically what you'll go and look at. Each funnel has got its own set of analytics. So you can actually go in and see how many people clicked on it versus how many people opted in. And so you can see whether things are working or not. This is my follow-on sequence. And I just number everything. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. And the main reason for that is, and so when I go to add the automation or the workflow, I actually see the actual lead magnet. So now I don't go lead magnet, I go whatever that lead magnet is, right? This is just an example. So if it's free Canva templates, 100 free Canva templates, I put it there, and then I put a number next to it, and then I know in what sequence they need to go. So if I refer to the marketing genie, that it's just really my white label version of Go High Level. It's a full version. It's not a partial version, or I've taken some stuff out or nothing like that. So a lot of the white label ones will limit new functionality, and then they'll actually sell that to their clients. They'll go, oh, hey, it's, and then they also claim it to be their own development. I'm very transparent. If it's a Go High Level development, I switch everything on. So as soon as it's available to me, I'll make it available to everybody, and I don't use it as an upsell. So the other thing, you mentioned MailerLite. So you would be doing email campaigns as well as sequences. Go High Level can do one-off campaigns as well. So say you're launching a new product, you've got a story to share, something a little bit new that's not in your email sequences that you want to get out to your whole database. You can actually do just one-off campaigns using your email template. So there's no starting from scratch. You're just filling in this bit of information here. So when you start a system like this, in fact, whether it's MailerLite or any other, it's good to warm up the spam filters. So what I mean by warm up a spam filter is you need to test Gmail, Yahoo, Outlook, Mac Mail, all the various ones, whether you create yourself an email address to those or whether you ask your friends to do it. You need to send test emails to them. And if they're landing in the spam, you need to tell people to whitelist it. So generally speaking, if one person either drags it to the inbox or whitelists it 3 times, then the spam filter goes, okay, and then it won't go into the spam again. So it's important to do that. Otherwise, all your hard work ends up in people's spam folders. And I don't know how often you look at your spam folders, but I barely ever look there, unless I'm looking for something that I'm expecting, yeah? And if I've filled in a opt-in form, I'm expecting an email. But that all they do is they just email you and say, I never received it. They don't go and check their spam folders. So I do, because I understand how things work, but most people won't. So when you actually create your workflow, you can actually put yourself in the funnel. And so you will get the funnel. So all the timings and everything will come to you exactly the same way. It's going to go to your prospect. That'll help you establish whether it's going at a good time of day. It'll also help you pick up any potential problems. It could be a link that's not working. It could be a typo. It could be the wrong subject line. It could be perhaps you chose your sequences in the wrong order. All these things can happen very, very easily. And so it's really important to test. Spend a good few days just testing, because yeah, you'll reap the rewards of the testing. So this is basically just showing you how you can clone whole funnels. So if you've got a funnel and the funnel is a landing page with the opt-in and a confirmation page, that's what we call a 2-step funnel. And you can clone both steps. So you basically clone, go in, change the lead magnet information, save it as a different name, and then yeah, so you should be able to, like I said, create a new sales funnel or lead capture sales system in under an hour once you've done your first one. These are workflows down here. You can copy workflows as well. So all you do is you copy the whole workflow. It means you don't have to start from scratch. You just go and say, you change which form it is, and you change the 3 emails. That's it. So it becomes real easy. So this is some of the, if we're looking at deliverability now, for most people between, 20 to 40% is really good. My average is around 60. On very new databases, it can be as high as 80, 90. But you can see, this is just to give you an idea that if on average emails converted 3.9% compared to social media, which is 0.0 something, that even if you had a 60% deliverability and your list was only 1,000 strong, and you had a cheap product, $100, you'd still get 2,340. You would make 2,340 out of that particular funnel if you nurture it properly. So that's a sort of a snapshot. I mean, if your product is 5,000, we'll just do the conversion on 5,000 and you'll see how different that figure looks. It just depends what you do, and whether you are hard ticket or whether you project-based. Most of my work is project-based, web development, funnel development, copywriting, graphic design, that kind of things, or mainly project. There is a 14-day trial when paying full price and getting the bonuses. This is workflows. So you can see not only workflows, it's workflows and functionality. So it's got all your funnels. If you don't have a website, you can create a website in Go High Level, and there's no additional hosting. So it's the same. It's the same fee. It doesn't matter how many websites, how many funnels you have. You can use it for blogs. If you've got a WordPress website, you can actually bring it in and you can host it on Go High Level. And then it's got a courses and membership modules. So kind of like Kajabi or Kartra. It's got these preset modules that you can go in. You can create the courses. You can create assessments and so forth. And I've got a specialist that set that up for my clients. So you can create unlimited forms. You can create surveys, so you don't need SurveyMonkey or one of those. And you can actually put a chat widget onto your landing page. So a chat widget could be just something that encourages people not to leave and to log in. I mean, not log in, opt in. Yeah, so I've listed some of the ones that I've done my homework on. And I mean, you can imagine in 33 years in sales, I've been inside a lot of CRMs. And there's nothing out there right now that has the level of functionality or the support, or they've even got their own universities, training universities. So there's so much support for Go High Level. And then when you actually get your account through me, you get an extra layer of support because I can actually go into your account and I can actually add additional templates that you wouldn't have gotten if you went direct through Go High Level. So typical ones are Kajabi, Kartra, ClickFunnels, System.me, MailerLite, SendGrid, HubSpot, MailChimp, ActiveCampaign, Weber. Oh, there's so many, but I've tried them all. They all do an aspect of Go High Level, but then you need to use, generally speaking, you need to use webhooks, so Zapier or one of those, to get everything to talk to each other. And Go High Level, because it's one system, everything naturally talks to each other. So there's no worrying about systems not talking to each other. So the recommended retail is $97 a month. I've decided to do a high trust system. So you don't have to tell me what you earn, but if you're a startup, there's 30% off. If you're over 5,000, you've got 20% off. And if you're over 10K, 15% off. But you will still get the 3K bonuses. I'll show you what they are. So you can see here, the reason they say agency is because there's so many like me who have a agency that sell the solution to people like yourselves. So they don't really market to business owners as much as they do agencies because they know we do the marketing for them. Yeah. So that is the standard price through Go High Level. This is agency. So I've got one step up on this, which is, so I pay $497 a month for my account. And then I charge less than that. This just kind of showing you, this is comparing to the 297, but you'll recognize some of these logos, MailChimp, HubSpot. You'll recognize them, Keep, Acuity, Calendly, Wix, Square, WordPress. So you can see all these different logos. So basically everything is included in Go High Level. And the other thing is that you never have to upgrade because everything is unlimited. Even your contacts, it's unlimited. If you go to, for instance, ClickFunnels or even MailerLite for that matter, they've got tiers that you have to upgrade. So, as you go and your business grows and your database grows, you often have to upgrade to the next tier. So you can look at this in your own time. It's a long list. I'm not going to read through it all. This is all the different things that that Go High Level can do. From a small business point of view, if you're using social media, it's really useful because you can integrate your all your social media, and I mean all, including Google Business Profile, and you can schedule your posts from there. You can also answer all your DMs in Go High Level. So in other words, you log into Go High Level, you can answer your Instagram, your TikTok, your Facebook, your Google Business Profile, your LinkedIn. You can answer all these people very easily, and it's much easier to copy and paste links and different things on your desktop than it is to try to do it on your phone. It's also got an unlimited media library, which will store your documents, your videos, and your images. And there's also, someone's coming late. And you'll also get, you got access to Unsplash, which is royalty-free photography. And you've got access to Pixel Bay, and you've also got access to backgrounds. I'll show you that. So if you go direct with Go High Level, it's 97 a month US. With me, it's the public price is 97 with 3K bonuses. But in a lot of agencies, for what I'm charging monthly, they are charging up to 497 a month, and they are claiming Go High Level as their own software. There's no point, because you'll eventually find out. The big offer for my done for you and a done with you services is that you can pay in New Zealand dollars, Australian dollars, depending on where you are. So if you're in the States, you will save a ton of money. So instead of paying you know, $3,053, you'll only pay 1997 New Zealand dollars, and the same for the done for you, 2997 instead of 5,000. So there's a big benefit in the promotions. I'll be sending this through to you after, but this is the done with you, right? So this comes with 3 60-minute Zooms, and it basically helps you through the entire process, so that by the time you get to the end of this process, you've got a fully functioning lead capture funnel. So you've got your landing page, your thank you page, you've got your automation done, or your workflows done, and you've got a minimum of 3 emails that are done, all automated, so all run on its own. Also give you guidance around your subdomain and setting up your account and so forth. Okay. So I really only need to, you don't have to pay me any money, but I kind of need to know an indication of whether you are interested or not. This is just summarizing the two on the last, but so these are the last few pages of my presentation that I'll let you have after the recording has processed, and that sometimes can take up to 3 hours depending on the queue. So that's the presentation there. Are there any questions at this stage? I'll also do social media marketing. Okay. How many accounts? What do you mean there, Sarah? Sarah?
Sorry, I forget. How many social media accounts does it handle? Like you said that it hooks up into your socials. So does it do like?
It's going to take you through the logging process. So
it'll be one for each platform, which is cool. That's still awesome.
I think that you could possibly get away with a few. You could, because if you're logged in as a client, then if you're logged into your Go High Level, it's going to take you through the process. So I actually think you could potentially have clients as well. We'll have a look at that. I'll double check that for you.
It's okay. I was just curious.
No, but I can understand as a social media marketing how that would be helpful, right? I can understand that. So now I'm just gonna. Any questions before I go on? I think I've had a look in the chat. Yeah, look, I mean, with small businesses often, you know, want everything for free, but what you will learn to realize after a period of time is that if you pay for the right software, then in fact you'll actually save money and you'll actually save time, and you'll get a much higher level of functionality, which at the end translates to more income, more time for yourself, more time to work on the business, more time for clients. So, you know, you've got to look at it in that way. Most clients that are brought over to Go High Level have migrated from ClickFunnels or Kartra, Kajabi, one of those, and they're saving about my one client's saving $1,200 a month. She had like 12 systems, you know, so that's a lot of money. All right, so if we're going to Canva now, I'm just going to move you guys down here. So in Canva, if you haven't created your brand kit, which I believe some of you haven't, this is where you add your brand kit. So we'll go to the home page. That's your home page there. And you'll see there on the left menu under template, it says brand, right? So you can see I've got a few here only because I demo this quite often. But if you want to add in, if you want to look at one, you can see all the different versions of my logo there, and you can see my color palette, and you can see I haven't uploaded my fonts because I use just one font. So for me, it's easy, but you can upload fonts as well. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to go add new, and we'll call this test August, and you go create. Now, if you don't have a color palette, you can play around with these. You can either go on here or go on the sliding scale. I'll show you a different way to do it. But you can choose here, and then you just need to note down your hex color, because you're going to use that in potentially, you will use that in Go High Level as well, or anywhere where you're going to create a landing page. You want to be able to carry your color palette, and all these other applications will have the ability where you can put the custom code in, right? So note that down so that you know your color palette. I mean, for me, for instance, mine is 00. You'll know them off by heart eventually. So there's that one, and then I've got FF547A, and then I've got white, which is just FFFF. Yeah, so that's my color palette there. And if I wanted to add fonts, I could, for instance, go right. So this is what we call typography. So this is, you have a font for your title, subtitle, and heading, and ideally from the same family. So I'm not sure if you know, but if you go to Google Fonts, all those fonts are free and license free, so you can use them. They are commonly accepted by Google and preferred by Google, right? So if you go and try to use a custom font that's not part of Google Fonts, Google will actually penalize you in Google in your Google rankings. People don't realize it, but that's how it works. So you can go to your title, for instance, and you can call it whatever. But say you want to add new fonts, you can actually. So these are fonts that I've uploaded previously. Hopefully I can find them. Let's have a look. Font. Right, so you can see there's a whole lot of Lato fonts. You see all the Lato fonts here? So I can go in and I can select all the Lato fonts. So it's italic, so it's like italic, it's thin, small, whatever. I can upload it. It's going to ask me, are you sure? Just go, yep. The reason it's asking you is because some fonts are licensed. You actually have to pay an annual license to use them. Custom fonts. So you just upload the fonts, and now you're going to have access to all those fonts in your Canva template. Now the other way so for instance, there's these colors that you like, but you don't know what the hex code is. Or you've got a logo and you want those to be your brand colors, but you don't know what the actual colors are. I'm going to do something like Instagram. This may or may not work. We'll just double check. Perhaps if I spell Instagram properly. Right, so if I, for instance, put that there, right? And I went to, you see how I can go and change the colors. Over here, it's going to have the document colors over here. So normally it's a bit better. Let me give you a better example. It's not a good example. Google. let's see if we get those images. For some reason, this is not working. Hang on a sec. Let's see if this one works. Yeah, so you can see your different colors over here. And if I click on that, if you look at the top there, it says document colors. Can you see that? And if you hover on a square, it's going to tell you the hex code, right? So if you've got a logo, you've got an image, or you've got an image, doesn't matter what the image is. It doesn't have to be little colors like this. You can actually go in and just hover on the color, and it will actually, so it's what it's doing is it's looking at the colors in this image, and it's telling me exactly what color font, what color it is. Now the same thing with a font. Say for instance, you don't know what font you want. Just when you right click, go paste. Don't go paste as plain text, just go paste. Let me see if I can find an example. I don't have a Word document up. Okay. So say for instance, you copy and paste. I'm just going to put test here. You copy and paste the font that you like from another document. You click on it like that. Canva will tell you what the font is. It'll tell you it's 𝐬𝐡𝐲 or whatever it is. And you can go in here and you can change the fonts. So here you'll see that this is from a brand kit, and I can choose my brand kit. So I can, for instance, choose that brand kit, and it's going to display different fonts for that particular brand kit. So you see all the fonts I just uploaded. There they are there. Right. So it just gives you very easy access to your brand, and so that's the first step. Before you do anything on Canva, make sure you've got your brand palette, your logo, and your fonts all set up. Once you've got that set up, it couldn't be easier. So let's say we're going to do a presentation. Go to home, go to templates, go here, and go business presentation. Like I said to you, if you want landscape or portrait, use guide or ebook or blueprint for the others. But let's choose this one because it's got a few pages. So you can see over here, you can see how many different pages it's got. You can go, oh yeah, that'll work. All right, customize that template. Now you're sort of setting the scene of what you want this to be. So you're going to go up to design. Get out of there. And you're going to go, so it's got templates, layouts, styles, right? So this is where your brand kits are. So, I can go, for instance, and say, oh, I want that one. And then click on the outside. So make sure you've got a purple around the edge, and just click on your brand kit. And keep clicking on it. It'll give you different versions. So you can, of course, go here and you can delete this and delete that. And you can then go to where you've saved your logos. And you can choose a logo. And you can resize it. And you can stick it there. And then so when you're actually in the design and you're going to layouts like this, once you're happy, so say for instance you're happy with that, you can actually apply it to the entire color palette. So say for instance, give me 1 second. Let me just do that again so I'm not mucking around. Should have brought the whole thing through, but it hasn't. Interesting. Okay. So before it would load all of the slides down here, but it's changed. So you're going to have to just drag it in yourself. But that won't take long. So every time you drag one over, it'll create another page. So just keep dragging them. I mean, if it looks like something that's not going to suit your lead magnet, don't do it. But you can just keep dragging. So usually it loads them all, but Canva's obviously changed what they do. So that's why I was confused. All right, so say for instance, you've got that, right? I'm going to go here. I'm going to go up to design, to styles. I'm going to go to my brand palette. So say for instance, it was that brand palette, right? But so you can then say you don't know. You can then look through all these palettes here, and you can go, oh, you know what? I quite like that. And then you can have different versions of that. So you see how it's even changing the fonts. And then you can go, oh no, actually, I like this one here. Yeah, I like that. Okay, apply to all the pages. So the little button at the bottom that says apply to all the pages. And if you have a look, it's now changed all the pages in one hit. So you can put your brand across. So say there was 100 slides here, 100 of them would become that particular brand. And then if you decide that that's not what you want and you want to go and change it, you can then go and choose a different color palette until you're happy. But in saying that, you can also, say for instance, you're quite happy with that, but you want that font to be different. You can actually go in and just go up here and you can change the font here. You can change it to whatever you want. So you're not limited. You can move everything around. So quite often you see these are grouped together. I don't know that okay, they're not grouped. So if I couldn't have dragged this out, then that means they're grouped together. And then when you click here on the left-hand side, it'll have a little function saying ungroup. But you can move all the stuff around. You can make them bigger or smaller. You can make them centered, left adjusted. You can make them right adjusted. Anything you want to delete, you can just do that and delete. And then same thing, you can go and change colors. So I can go in here and go, right, I want that to be pink, and I want that to be blue, and I want that to be not yellow, I want it to be blue. So you get what I'm saying? You can go and muck around with things like that. When it actually comes to downloading, if it's a social media project and you just want to download an image, obviously make sure it's the right size here first. So, you know, Instagram reel, Facebook cover, whatever it is, make sure it's the right size. If you resize something, it'll resize it and put it in a new tab. So you won't lose what you're working with here. But when you go to download, you go share, download. Now, if it's a presentation like this, it's going to give you the most obvious thing to download. So I would download this as a PDF. If there's a video anywhere in it, then you want to download it as an MP4. If it's a social media image, you want to download it as a PNG. A JPEG is common for social media, but on Canva, it's a very, very small file, and it's got very low resolution. So you can go, if you do download images like this, it's going to zip them. It's going to put them all in a zip file, which you're going to have to then go and unzip. But you can also, for instance, just download one, and then that won't be zipped. The same goes for PDF. If you wanted to do all the pages, you'd make sure they're all selected. You go done and then download. Don't worry about this. Crops for bleed, flatten PDF, include notes. Yeah, you can include notes if you want, but that would be for your own use, not for somebody else. And then crops for bleed and all that, that's to do with printing. But I don't recommend Canva for printing. The resolution's not good enough. Are there any questions around Canva? I've actually covered quite a bit of Canva. So I haven't played with this and once bought a font for crochet symbols. Okay. Yeah, typically for anything digital and digital online, there are colors. Yeah, that's a cool website, Sarah. Thanks for sharing that. There's lots where you can go choose color palettes, but try to have a font from Google fonts, because otherwise, most website templates and things like most web applications won't have that font. And then you've got to have special coding and stuff, and it's not worth it, because at the end of the day, Google's going to punish you for it anyway. So I'm going to take you just quickly through Go High Level. So this is the back end of Go High Level. This is what it looks like. So I've got what we call an agency account, and under the agency account, I've got all my clients. If I go look at sub accounts, there they are there, and I'm going to go. So these are all my clients here, and I am a client of myself. So my own account will be identical to what you guys get. This is basically the functionality, right? This is what they call the launch pad. This is where you can just do some things quite quickly. You can connect your Stripe account, you can connect your Google business profile, you can get the link sent for the app. So there is a mobile app. Really, this is better to use on desktop. You can also quickly add a team member. So you've got a VA or you've got a business partner or someone you want to work on different parts, or you want to get someone to work on your funnel. You just add their email address there, press enter, and they'll get an invitation. You got your dashboard here. This will actually bring in information from your this is not real, so this is all just made up stuff. Demo, I should say demo, because this is not the account I use to transact with. But this would actually show you that you had 103 leads, you've had 46 consultations, you've made 41 offers, you've done 26 people in your masterclass, and it'll go through various metrics. It'll also show your business profile down here. If you get a review, your review will come through in Go High Level too, provided you've integrated, right? Conversations, this is where you will so goodness knows. So here, for instance, on the left, you see how these are the Threads logo. So those are all coming from Threads. For some reason, but they actually Instagram. I don't know why. So there you can see the Instagram logo. There you can see the Google business profile. And I can actually go in and click into that, and say, for instance, you're not happy with the review, or you don't even know the person or something, you can go and dispute the review on here, or you can see the review on Google My Business, can actually respond to it. If I respond to it here, it's going to show on my Google profile that I've replied to the review. So it's quite handy to be able to go through all your social media in one spot. It also gives you a nice big box here where you can copy and paste, add links, and so forth. So it's a big time saver versus logging into your phone into the different accounts. So it's also got your calendar. So this replaces Acuity or Calendly or something like that. Sorry?
All you need to do to succeed in life is to work hard.
What happened? Hello, are you there?
No, sorry, Naz, that was me, Vanessa.
Was that you?
I got a message on my phone. My apologies.
I thought I was going mad. No, that's fine. So yeah, this replaces whatever other calendars you use, and you can have different kinds of appointments. And I've got clients with teams of 30. So I've got a few 7-figure clients, and they've got a team of 30, and they create all their calendars in the setting here. So you can have different kinds of appointments. It's got some sort of preset ones. Let's have a look at the kinds of calendar. Yeah, so you can have different calendars, appointment. You can have calendar settings. You can have your preferences, your availabilities, your connections. So I can actually add my Google Calendar here, so that if I put an appointment on my Google Calendar, it's not available on this calendar here. And you can also create groups. So this could be different types of appointments that you have. So that's handy. And also you can link these things to workflows. So you could have a workflow that says, when someone's made an appointment, please send them this email. When someone's had an appointment with me, one day later, please send them an email, so that, you know, the calendar is linked to everything. This is your contacts. This is where if someone, if I talk to someone on social media, they're going to be pulled in here, and even their email address will get pulled through. That's Carol. I'll just show you a lead magnet I shared the other day. I shared it on the 12th, around about the, let's see, where are we now? 14th. I need to go to the next page. Next page. So you'll see here, I shared a lead magnet around about the 12th. So usually quite a big uptake when you just share it, and then it starts to drop off. But this one I shared on the 12th, actually earlier than the, around about here. But each one of these is an opt-in. Every one of these that you see is an opt-in. You see the different name, different email address. So that's how many options you can get just by sharing a link without an ad. This is your opportunities. This is where you can put your leads, your consultations, your offers, your masterclasses. I've got a tool, if you're interested, that can actually turn your Facebook Messenger into a CRM, and it will automatically sync with Go High Level. In other words, if I create a label in Facebook Messenger, it'll copy, provided I've created that label in here, it'll actually put people under that label. And then you can click on it, you can make notes, you can view the conversation, you can call them. If you add that functionality, you can add tags, add tasks, and you can even then, for instance, make an appointment for them, which will then link to your calendar. It's got your payments, so you can do invoices on here. You can do proposals and estimates, orders, subscriptions, transactions. So if you've got all your these are my funnel, some of my funnel ones. You can see someone try to pay a bunch of times. And also where you create your products. So if it's a lead magnet, you're not going to create a product, you're just going to create a form. If it's a product that costs money, then you're going to actually create a product in here. And provided your Stripe is integrated, it'll automatically add the product to your Stripe. And the same goes, if you add a product to your Stripe, it'll automatically add it here, and you can just import it from here. You can do coupons. So this is more around e-commerce. And then you've got your integrations as well. So it can integrate with PayPal and with Stripe. Marketing. So this is for you guys that are interested in the social media. So it does all the social media. It does Facebook groups, multiple, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, what was called Twitter, Google Business Profile, LinkedIn. I think I said TikTok, all of them. So essentially, and it will take you through a process of logging in. So you need to be logged into. So if you were logged into a client's account, I'm pretty sure that you could actually, you could bring them in here, no problem. Because, you know, when you do go to actually, to create a new post, so if I go create a new post, it's going to ask me where I want to post it, right? So like I said to you, this is not my active account. So I could actually select all. And if these were connected, I could post the same post to every one of them. So at the moment, the only thing that's selected is my Google business profile. And so whatever I do here, a post, a story, or reel, is going to post to my Google business profile. But if I ticked all, it would go to all. You've got the option of content AI. You're going to give it a title. You put your prompts in here. You can tell it, after you put your prompts in, you can tell it keywords. So this is more around SEO. Even for, so you can say the writing tone, funny, casual, secretive, grumpy, whatever you want, how many variations, and whether you want a long form or short form. And then you can also have your call to actions, and you can have your various buttons. So similar to Meta. And you can also save for later. So you can, for instance, schedule posts for the next 2-3 months if that's what you want to do. So it's quite useful. And then, like I said, all your conversations come in here as well. In other words, all your DMs. So for emails, you can do campaigns. So campaign just uses a template that you've created in one of your sequences. So if I went create campaign, I'll go create campaign. I then go and look at all my templates, and so it's not going to overwrite this. It's going to create another copy. It won't overwrite this. The template. The template will stay the same. So you just go in here. I'll go and I call it something different. I then go in, and so that's the one I had before. Now I want to tell them something else. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to delete all this, and then I'm going to type my new information in. Whoops. Let me go out of that so I don't save it. I'll do that again. I deleted a whole section by mistake. So you're going to change the text that's there. The header, the footer, the design of the email will stay the same. So you see the headers there, your footers here, your signatures here, your logo, everything. So you're going to go in here and you're going to you can change your subject line. And you can also change your preview text. So this is an email I did one earlier today, but it's gone back to the template. So if I, for instance, want to rewrite that subject line, I can use my content AI. Now, use prompts, proper prompts. I can give you guys some free prompts if you want. Just let me know if you want. But for this purpose, this is not a good prompt, but I'm just gonna ask it to generate some alternatives. So, it'll even insert emojis and things. So I can go, oh yeah, quite like that. Yeah, that's quite good. You go copy, continue, and it changes the subject line for you. It won't do it with that for some reason. Well, it will do it, but it won't automatically put it in there. You'll have to copy it. And then you go save, and then you can choose to send it to a smart list. So you might have, some list that you want to send it to, or you can choose all contacts. So in this database, I've got 13,051. And you can also test. So if I go test email, it's going to bring the original subject line in. So you can go in and change that. The to email that you set up in your system will automatically be there, and you can send it to anybody. So, I could send it to myself. I recommend when you create new emails, send yourself a test, check everything's good, all the links work, there's no typos, it doesn't look funny. And then once you're happy with the test, and you've made your edits, then you go to send here, right? If I send that now, that will then go to 13,000 people. So that's that. The email templates themselves. So if you go here and you go templates, these all belong to a funnel, yeah? So they belong to a landing page. So this email here is gonna be sent the minute someone fills in my opt-in form. So I'll show you that now. So the first 3 is what I use. And then when you look at the automation, I'm going to use the same AI one. There's this one here. I'll show you the actual landing page now. So the form submitted is called AI content bundle. So as soon as that form is submitted, the system will then add the person to the CRM, and that's my tag. they will then send in the first email, a lead magnet, and this is where you select your emails. You'll see I've got one sent AI lead magnet, a virtual bundle. This will stay the same, this will stay the same, this will stay the same. And once you've selected this email, this will change based on how you set up your email. So everything is pulled through into here. You can test that particular one email. It also allows you to have attachments, but I don't recommend it. Then you're going to have a wait period. Now, wait periods can either be time delays or they can be linked to particular events or different CRM events. So mine are basically fairly simple, and they just, for instance, 4 days. You can have minutes, hours, days. So you could have it an hour before an event starts, for instance. I then have a wait. I then have my second email, my next wait, my third email, and there's my trigger nurture follow-on sequence. So that is its own, it's got its own workflow. But I just tack it on here because that's 13 emails just in one hit, which is nice and easy. And then for the last thing I'm going to show you, I've gone quite a bit over my time today. I'll show you this where we actually build our funnels or web pages. So this is the web page here. This is where you're going to go and you're going to choose your subdomain. Now this you will set up wherever you've purchased your domain from. There's loads of videos for this. It's not difficult. This here is what we call a favicon. Now a favicon is, I'll show you what it's the little image on the web browser tab. I'll show you that in a second. So for this particular funnel, I've got a paid product. If it's a lead magnet, you don't need any of what I'm going to show you now. Product, so you've created your product. There's the product there. And that's, so you're going to add a single checkout form on your page. But if it's a lead magnet, you don't need any of this, right? It's just pretty straightforward. Overview, go in. And everything's drag and drop and templated, and there are templates for everything, right? For emails, for funnels, for web pages, for workflows, everything's got templates that you can play around with. So this is where you develop your, you know, you can either be doing it from scratch or you can be editing a template. Now, for instance, if I wanted to rewrite that, I could just copy it, go up here to Content AI. I could then go and put it in there, but like I said, use proper prompts. If you need examples, let me know. Then if I say, yep, I quite like that, which I don't, but it's actually then just going to put it in for me. You see how it's just inserted it? So it'll insert it with the current format. This button here, actually, see how it's jumping? It's drawing attention to it. But you can go here, for instance, I want to change that color. You see it says background color. I could change it to orange. And say that font, so that's bold font. I want to change that bold font to black. Now it's black. So it's pretty intuitive. Everything is quite easy to do. Images. So here is the image. You can see it's from the image library. If I go to the image library, I can go grab it. I can choose a different image, or I can go here and I can go to Unsplash. I can say search by, I can search my, so these are all royalty-free photography, and I can just choose one of these, or I can go to Pixel Bay, same thing, business, and it'll give me all these different things. And then for your background, so for the bigger sort of backgrounds, I'm gonna get rid of that. So these backgrounds, so these are different backgrounds you can use on your landing page. You can use AI images that's saying in a Jiffy try now, yeah. So you'll have to integrate your they've got the ChatGPT API in this. So you can see with these pages, I have information on here that is relevant to any lead magnet page. And then I've got specific content to the lead magnet. Here I've got a testimonial. This is specific to the lead magnet. This is specific to the lead magnet, which is got another, I've got another testimonial here. And then these are all testimonials on Go High Level. And here's my transactional form. Now I'm just going to minimize this and show you. So try and get rid of this here. I think I created them here. So that's not the one. I'll get to it. Give me 1 second. Offers. So here's that exact same form. Had I pressed save, all those changes would have happened on this page immediately. So anything you change on the other side will change this live page immediately. So you need to be careful. So if I click this button, it's going to jump directly to this form, right? And it's going to allow people to pay by card. You can see virtually any payment, and including Google Pay. So this is the actual web page here, and this is that is if you look at this over here, that is my domain. That there is my subdomain, and that relates to the lead magnet itself. So you can see that's basically how you. So it's quite nice if you've got Systeme or you've got ClickFunnels. It has Systeme and ClickFunnels in the URL. Where with Go High Level, it's completely custom to you, to your particular brand. This here is one of the earlier ones I did, very, very early. Like I'd only had the system 2 months, but you can see the difference, right? Quite short. But for instance, if I put my name in here and it's put Minkley, nice, and I went submit, I would not get an email. So let's go to my emails, and it should be there. The wrong email box. 1 moment. Now, sometimes they do still go into spam, so that's why it's important to test. Oh, it hasn't come through yet. I'll check this before we leave. It's usually pretty quick. Okay, so I think that, is there anything else in Go High Level? I've tried to sort of show you the most important bits of Go High Level. Yeah, so that's what the page looks like then. You can also have mobile. You can also check the mobile settings. So if I went here and I check them, so once you've created the desktop, it's important to look at your mobile and make sure that the mobile looks good too. Now, sometimes you'll go through it and you'll go, oh, that gap's quite big there. I actually want that to be less. So say for instance, the margin was like that, right? And you go, oh, I want to get rid of that. You'll just basically make the padding. You see how you can change it? So you can actually go in and make sure that it looks good on mobile as well. That there's no big white gaping gaps or anything like that. And then obviously you'll save that. If I save that now, it's gonna save these changes that I don't want. And you can undo things as well over here. But this is where you save. And then all your elements are here. So, your different things, all you do is you drag them in, you drag them in like that. And then it will have, various functionality. You can clone things. So I can duplicate that, for instance, like that. And you can just delete them. You can also drag them. So I can I could, for instance, you could drag an element. Say I wanted to go below this. I just press the down button, and you see it goes below. It'll go to the next line. There's a lot you can do with it, but it's quite fun to play with. And it's got a lot of functionality. Pretty much whatever you clicked into here, whatever's on the left here will change it. So like for instance, this button, if you go down here, you'll see this is where you actually type the text. You can have the little subtext. So click for instant access, and then you tell the button where to go. So the button is going to the one-step order. Once you get your head around it, it's quite easy. And I would say 85% of my clients, they get us to build their first one with the automation and the 3 emails, because then they just go in and clone everything. So once we built one out for you, you should be able to build yourself out another system in an hour tops. So yeah, let me have a look what's in the chat. Have you guys been talking to each other? All right, so yeah, Sarah had to go. That's all good. Yeah, so with mobile, like with websites, you don't worry about mobile until your desktop is finished, because every time you do something on desktop, it affects how it's going to look on mobile. So you do your desktop until you're 100% happy with that, then you go to mobile, and on mobile you then adjust, which is going to have 0 impact on the desktop. So we do that with websites too. So we wait until it's completely, the client's completely happy, and then we do mobile optimization, and then we make it live. So it's no different for landing pages. So yeah, I mean, so Go High Level allows you to have unlimited. For instance, ClickFunnels, I think it's 157, and you can have, I think, 3 or 4 funnels. You want any more than that, you have to upgrade. You want more contacts, you got to upgrade. You want more templates, you got to upgrade. There's no upgrading with Go High Level. Once you get it at whatever price we agree on, then that's your price for good forever. So I grandfather everyone into whatever they start with, and so that means it won't go up for you.
Quick question, Vanessa. Are we the only 2 on here now? It says 3, but I only see me and you.
I think Angie's still there. She's somewhere in the background there.
All right, because I don't see her on maybe she's
yeah. So if there's no other questions, I've got another Zoom in 10 minutes.
Yeah, me too.
Yep, I'm here, but I need to go too. My husband's traveling, and I need to catch him before he goes to bed.
All right, cool. Hey guys, I'm gonna I'll stop the recording, and as soon as the recording's ready, I'll send that out with everything else, and you can look at it in your own time.
Wonderful. Thank you, Vanessa, so much.
No worries.
Job, Vanessa.
See you, Jeff. See you, Angie. Bye.
Bye.
So we'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow, Vanessa.
Yes.
Oh, I will too, actually. See you then.
Tomorrow is very interesting.